that feeling when you're trying to build your credit.
You know, this was last week was very interesting. Very, very interesting week. I was at my undisclosed location. If you know, you know. If you see something that gives you a hint, then you know. But a lot of things happened. Of course, the week that I'm at the beach, shit actually goes down. In pro wrestling, football. I watched the preseason game on vacation. And I liked what I saw, and I didn't like what I saw. But my point is, I cannot believe that the week that I'm not here inside the studio, shit actually gets active. That's a damn shocker. That is a damn shocker. But thank you guys for joining me today here on a Wednesday afternoon. We are back. We are here to talk some football. A lot to talk about, especially for the Steelers. Yes, games have officially started. I will be possibly live after the Steelers and Jets game this Friday night. I am not sure. It starts at 7 p.m. And Friday nights are always tough for me to stream. If anything, I will be. I could go live the Saturday after my show, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I know Kev's a big Jets fan, so maybe we'll do something over on the Sports Jedi Network. But I'll definitely be doing something here. I'll probably just do a video about my thoughts on that game. But I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit about our preseason game last Thursday against the Packers. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about Mike McCarthy today, talking about his decision to not play Mason Rudolph or Aaron Rodgers this week. He wants to focus on Drew Allar and, Will Howard. He says, and I quote, he has seen what he needed to see from Mason Rudolph, which I don't know what that is. I want him to be a little bit more specific on that, but we will get into that. We will get into a little bit of AEW, possibility of Dr. Britt Baker returning back to AEW for a special edition of Dynamite next month for the tribute show for Rebel. And I got a couple things to say about that because I'm going to say it here, where if I say something that offends you people, I'll take the hit on it. Not the people that I do this shit with. So they don't deserve that. So I am going to talk a little bit about that as well. And much more here on the PGHCHRIS show. Again, thank you guys for joining me here on a Wednesday night. I know it's been a while. I know I haven't seen you guys in a while, especially leading up to vacation. But the season is officially back, baby. The season is officially back. Football is officially back. And I want to talk a little bit about what I saw from the Pittsburgh Steelers last Thursday. So as you guys know, I'm on vacation. I was watching the game. I was very shocked when I saw Mason Rudolph as the starting quarterback. I really thought it would be Will Howard. I guess Mike McCarthy wanted to see in his eyes, in his, from his point of view on what Mason Rudolph really brings to the table. And I feel like he didn't do bad, and in all honesty. I mean, he did not play bad at all, okay? But the talk of the night was definitely Drew Allar. It was definitely Drew Allar. He impressed. Now, Mason Rudolph led with 2 drives. He did go 10 for 11, threw for 93 yards, and Will Howard took over. It was good to see him. He missed the entire preseason last year with the fractured pinky and never saw a regular season game. He played 3 series. He went 7 for 9 for 86 yards. But again, the highlight of the game was Drew Allar. Drew Allar played a phenomenal game. He played a phenomenal game. He went 10 for 13 for 153 yards with 2 passing touchdowns and a rushing score. The rookie's first pass went 74 yards on a catch and run by 4th-round rookie Caden Wentgen. Listen, couple things. First off, I know it's preseason. I'm not going to get into too much in the preseason. I know a lot of ESPN guys, Mad Dog Chris Russo, I know they don't like, oh, it's preseason. Why are we talking about football during the preseason? It's football. Football is here. We are seeing, look, the preseason does not matter about wins and losses. If you think the preseason is about wins and losses, my friend, you are a fucking idiot. That is not why people talk about the preseason. People talk about the preseason and want to watch the preseason, especially the first game of their team. And I'll tell you why, in my case, a Steelers fan wants to watch the preseason this year. So we have fucking 4 quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers is in his last year. We know he's our starting quarterback. We most likely know now that Mason Rudolph is going to be our backup. But we have 2 rookies. Now, Drew Howard isn't his rookie. He's going into his 2nd season. But he did miss the entire preseason last year, like I told you, due to a pinky injury. And he never saw the field. Because the Steelers never had to go that deep into their QB chart. Because Mason Rudolph or Aaron Rodgers was always available. Drew Allar impressed. I know I talked a lot about the kid. He's a Penn State guy. I don't like him because of that. But I'm going to give credit where credit's due. He looked good. And Will Howard looked good too. That's why the Steelers fans wanted to watch the preseason games. We want to know what our future could possibly look like. If any of these 2 guys are going to be a part of that. Who knows? Maybe some big quarterback out there on the market in a few years and we snatch him. Because I don't think any of these guys are going to be quarterbacks long term. I just don't. Excuse me. As I'm drinking my Fresca. You guys know I love Fresca. Fresca needs to sponsor me. Sponsor the PGHCHRIS show or the Sports Jedi Network. I don't go fuck. I want free Frescas. My girlfriend drinks Frescas. I drink Frescas. My grandparents drink them on occasions. And my girlfriend's entire family loves them. Fresca. Send me something. Send me something. Let's do something. I need a package. But anyway, long story short, let's get back into the ball here. Mason Rudolph. Let's talk about Mason Rudolph's start. Obviously, I didn't like him getting sacked. I literally said to somebody that I was with on vacation, Boy, boy, boy. Steelers football is back, isn't it? Steelers football was back. Um, Mason Rudolph didn't look that well to start. He got better as the game went on. The Packers started on offense. The Steelers really didn't do much. But the Packers also didn't do much either. They got him to a field goal to start their opening drive. So Mason Rudolph gets sacked. I'm not too sure who our offensive line. I can't remember. I'll be honest. I was not in the right state of mind in a couple of those vacation days. But I think when I saw Mason Rudolph on that 2nd and 6, and he steps back and he goes for the sack, he's never been a mobile quarterback. That's not what he's known for. Is he a solid backup? Yes. He's one of those guys that he just needs to get the ball out of his hands. He's one of these backup quarterbacks that, this is all backup quarterbacks, this is every quarterback's job, right? But there are certain quarterbacks to me where I don't have the confidence in, and don't have the confidence in Mason Rudolph, even though that one season, where Kenny Pickett just fucking sucked, he got us into that playoff run and he got destroyed by Buffalo. But what I'm saying is this: there are certain quarterbacks, even certain backup quarterbacks, where if you trust your defense, you can trust this quarterback in your offense to execute. The Steelers don't have that. We barely fucking have that at QB1. You think we have that at QB2? No. Mason Rudolph is one of these guys, don't turn the fucking ball over. If you have to eat a sack, eat a sack. But don't pause. Okay, big pause on that. If you have to take the sack, take the sack. But do not turn the ball over. It is that simple. Because if our defense is not playing well, and especially if our offense just got onto the field after our defense was just on it and they're tired, yeah, we are fucked. We're fucked. So I didn't like that. I did not like that. But I remember there was a play on 1st and 10 where he also got sacked too. It was at like at their 10-yard line, which was fucking terrible. There was a 2nd and 3rd play where he throws it out to the flat for Jeremy Bernard, and he broke some tackles and got past for the first for a pretty good catch and run. I liked what Jeremy Bernard did. I actually was like, okay, because all he did was run out to the side there, and he just did like a little 5-and-out route, catches the ball, breaks a few tackles, and runs for about 7 yards. I liked it. I liked it. That one corner didn't make a great tackle. Jeremy Bernard did a good job of getting between both those defenders for making that move and getting a touchdown. But Mason Rudolph did, he was a 4th and goal. He tried throwing it to, I think, Pat Fryermuth, but that didn't go through. So then we didn't really see much of Mason Rudolph after that. Will Howard checks into the game on a 3rd and 11. He is scrambling down to the field. He fakes the pass and kind of runs out of bounds there. One thing I told you guys a lot throughout, the draft throughout last year, 2 years ago, because I do cover the Ohio State. Don't know if I'm going to be able to do much of that this season. Who knows? But when I was talking about Ohio State, I said, look, Will Howard is a tall quarterback who can run. He is a tall quarterback that can run. Steelers fans will appreciate that. And he didn't do so bad to start. But I'm going to get into Will Howard. We're going to take a commercial break, as you guys heard. Someone's at the door. So I'm going to play the commercial. We're going to hear from G Fuel Energy, the official sponsor of the PGHCHRIS show. When we come back, we will talk about Will Howard's entry in the preseason game. All right, quick timeout in today's video. I want to talk to you guys about our sponsor, G Fuel Energy. If you're anything like me, you're locked in for late nights, breaking down games, watching wrestling, gaming, or just grinding content and coffee isn't cutting it anymore, this is where G Fuel comes in. No sugar, no crash, just clean energy that keeps you focused on pregame all the way through overtime. Whether I'm live, recording, or locked in the slate of games, G Fuel keeps me going. They've got a ridiculous lineups of flavors, collaborations, and a whole other group of well-known content creators a part of the movement. So you're definitely going to find one that hits. This is legit energy for creators, gamers, and sports fans who don't slow down. Use promo code PGHCHRIS when you check out. It saves you money and supports the channel, which you guys know I appreciate more than ever. Again, that's G Fuel Energy /PGHChris, or use my promo code PGHChris for 20% off checkout. Now, let's get back into the video. All right, quick timeout in today's video. I just love packages. We love packages. We love packages over here. I don't know why they can't just drop them off at the fucking thing. Like, I gotta literally put don't ring. Because that shit is annoying. That shit is annoying. Anyway, let's talk a little about Will Howard. But you guys know, go to gfuelenergy.com/PGHChris. Again, let me show you guys a little bit of what they got going on here. Let me pull up their website. I know there were some cool things coming to gfuel.com. They have some cool tubs. They got a back to school tub sale. You get $22. You go on and you can also scratch. So if you don't get lucky, you just go right here to gfuel.com/PGHChris, or you can go to gfuel.com and just click a promo code. So what you would do is you go to G Fuel. If production could get the fucking screen up, I would really appreciate it. Thank you. You go to gfuel.com. You go to shop, you can get whatever you want. So let's say, you know, there's a sale. So I know there's a sale here, so shop, or not shop creatine, but there's a shop to school sale, shop. The strawberry banana sounds really fucking good. It sounds really good. UNC, but you can get all these flavors. So if you wanted the Miami Nights 2.0, you go add. You can do whatever you want here. That's totally up to you. You don't have to do any of this stuff. You go here. I think you have to put all your information in, but there should be a method here for promo code. You apply your promo code right here, and you should save your 20% off right here. Total savings 22. You might not get this because of it already being on sale. So that you might have to get something that's not on sale. So let's see something that's not on sale, right? Let's go back to G Fuel. Let's go to a shop. Let's go to a formula. Rage a Gubby Fish. So this was like FaZe Jeb's kind of flavor when he was still with G Fuel doing the G Fuel thing. You would go here, click your promo code, and at the end, you'll see your total savings again right here. So go to gfuel.com, PGHChris. You will see all of your discounts. You get a discount, and tell them I sent you. Tell them I sent you there. Anyway, Will Howard gets in the game. He looked impressive, but didn't do much there on that first drive. I don't remember who was in for quarterback for the Packers, but I do remember Jack Sawyer getting a sack alongside somebody else. I couldn't remember who it was right before the half there. There was a play on 4th and inches where the Steelers went for it, and Will Howard fakes the handoff, throws it, and Ben Soroskic catches it, which was a good play on the 2-minute drill there from Will Howard. Again, he's there on the 2-minute drill with the 1st and 10. He gets the ball, kind of shifts a little bit, and just throws a beautiful wide open pass to our rookie tight end, number 83. Can't remember his name. But at the end there, right before that 2-minute drill, a touchdown is scored. Great job by Will Howard there on the 2-minute drill. It was very good. It brought a smile to my face, and I even tweeted out, "What the fuck did I tell you guys? What the fuck did I tell you guys?" Now, Drew Aller. let's talk about Drew Aller. He gets into the game there. He looked good. Okay, there was that 3rd and 7 where I think it was Roman Wilson. He caught the ball on the slant there, caught it for about 40 yards or something, and gets tackled at the 10-yard line right before the touchdown. But it's the 2nd and goal. So the play 2 plays after that, Drew Aller does a read option and scores a touchdown. I think Caleb Johnson was the running back who faked the handoff, and Aller pulls back and runs it in for a touchdown. Good stuff. Very, very good stuff. What else can I remember that happened there? I know the Steelers got a sack there right to end the 3rd quarter, going into the 4th. Drew Aller had another pass right out into the flat right there, a little 5 and out for about 15 yards. I'm looking at some of it. Another slant, another post route for about 30-yard catch. Great pass by Drew Aller. And then he's on the 1st and goal after a long pass, throws it out to the side and is caught by, it's not Roman Wilson, it's that rookie Kenjen, because I think Roman Wilson changed his number. I think chat somebody, if somebody correct me, I think it's that rookie. I think Roman Wilson changed the number, which I totally forgot. Overall, there's a lot that needs to be obviously developed, and obviously, we need a lot more to look at when the Steelers play the Jets this Saturday or this Friday. What I want to look for the game, let's preview it. So I want to look for a great game by both these quarterbacks. I know Coach Mike McCarthy had some words to say about the preseason game that is taking place. He did meet with reporters. This is by Andrew Filipponi from 93.7 The Fan. Want to give credit. You guys will see credit on the lower side of the video. I'm going to play the video for you guys, and I will give you guys my reaction. Play the clip. Has he though? Has he? I don't know about that one. He did not play well with Tennessee at all. At all. So well, we got to see about that one. But there are some more news, that are going around here. DK Metcalf and Michael Pittman, I guess, sort of have been dealing with some injuries that have been taking place, or they're not playing, at least for this preseason. But I have been, it has been told here by NFL rumors here, which I do respect. They do follow me, so I do appreciate that. Steelers wide receiver DK Metcalf and Michael Pittman Jr. are both expected to be ready for Week 1. Very good news. Very, very good news. Steelers quarterback Will Howard will start Friday against the Jets. Drew Aller will follow. So I'm hoping to see half and half. I want to see, obviously, Will Howard play the first half, Drew Aller play the second half. Mike McCarthy also did say that he saw what he needed to see from Mason. Somebody said, what could that mean? One of them is getting cut, and I don't know who it's going to be. at this point. I will be totally honest. I have no idea who's gonna get cut at this point. So we'll wait and see, guys. But there's something else I want to talk about in the football world, in the media world, before I get ready for All Elite Wrestling here. You guys can go watch me and my Dynamite bro, Hoss Knuckle Brew, for AEW Dynamite right after the show. Louis Riddick. Louis Riddick. He tweeted this out a few hours ago, or maybe a day ago, 22 hours ago. And bullish joint practices, and bullish preseason games, and bullish mini camp and OTAs. And bullish hitting too hard. Hell, maybe ambush the regular season too and just pick the playoff teams based on what they did the year before. Would that make everyone happy? I never heard so much complaining about everything in my life. Really? Is this you? You are a fucking loser. You are literally bitching and complaining about everything. You're talking about yourself. Louis Riddick, do you go on to say you said on Get Up this morning, Get Up on ESPN right before First Take, you said, I've never seen anything like this in my life. You know, they don't fight, joint practices. What? What? Are you serious? You don't remember the Texans versus the Redskins? You know, the show that they did on Hard Knocks? They fucking showed it on Hard Knocks for the entire fucking world to see. You don't remember that, Lewis? No? You don't remember in 2022 where the Rams and the Bengals had their joint practice right after they just played each other in the Super Bowl? There was punching and helmet throwing. Did you say this to Myles Garrett when he threw off his helmet and pegged Mason Rudolph in the fucking head in the middle of a regular season game? Louis Riddick is a hypocrite. Now the media sucks. Former WWE, former pro wrestler son. They had a lot of these media. They headlined that on purpose, and that's why I think a lot of these people are, oh, this is unnecessary. They probably think Scott Steiner's kid just is looking to fight because he's, has that pro wrestling WWE DNA in him. This fighting has been going on in joint training camps for fucking years, since I was a kid. Are we not? Now again, this wasn't this wasn't like a joint practice fight per se. But you don't remember Steve Smith punching his teammate during training camp? I'm just saying, when you go out and say that shit like this at training camp has never happened before, or I'm paraphrasing, that's basically kind of what you said on Get Up. You sound fucking dumb. You are literally complaining and bitching about fighting in football. I don't condone it. I don't condone it. But this is why hockey people say that hockey is a more tougher sport than football. Because this shit doesn't fucking happen. People aren't this fucking soft. Louis Riddick is not a good annulist. He's a DIY hire. I said it. He is a DIY hire. Shitty scout. If I was an executive, I'd give if they were. Shut the fuck up. You're not an executive anymore for a fucking reason, you clown. We're going to hear from G Fuel one more time. Before we end the stream, I want to address some rumors regarding AEW and Britt Baker. Since this is a Pittsburgh themed show, let's hear from G Fuel and let's talk about it. All right, so I'm not the one to listen to the online rumors. I'm not. When it comes to the pro wrestling media. Hell, I'm guilty of it. I guess I am a part of the pro wrestling media, aren't I? Cultaholic Wrestling tweeted out this. Britt Baker has been brought up in conversations within AEW about the Rebel Heart Dynamite show. Now, Cultaholic posted this, but I guess they were a Fightful did a questions Q&A, and that's when they reported it and they tweeted it. What I'm going to say, I mean, with the utmost respect. Actually, you know what? Let's change this for a second. I mean this with the utmost respect. I mean this with as much honesty as I can. I don't know how I feel about this. No way it's going to take what happened to Rebel for Britt Baker to come back to AEW. I think it would be very disingenuous. Tony Khan, Britt Baker's not going to do this for Tony Khan. If we see Britt Baker at the Rebel show, she's doing it for fucking Rebel. She's been hanging a lot with Mick Foley the last few months since Rebel's been going through the ALS stuff very, very seriously. I know they had these conversations about possibly returning. Hell, maybe Tony Khan told Mick Foley to relay her a message or two. Does she want to? Because she wants to go back to AEW, or is she going to do this because of Rebel? Because this is what I don't want to happen. I don't want her to show up for the Rebel show. And then we don't see her again. Wouldn't make sense. It would look, again, very disingenuous, very, not genuine at all. I said this with Haas, my co-host on Wednesdays for the Dynamite Bros, that I didn't want. I hope this doesn't become a Rebel Memorial show. Let's just say that it does become that. I don't know how I would feel even more about Britt Baker showing back up. If this is true, I honestly think she should show up before. And then she should main event that night. She should be in a match against whoever. Maya World, Persephone, Megan Bane. That should be the main event of the Rebel Heart show. I want her to come back to AEW if she wants to come back to AEW. I don't want her to come back to AEW because of a situation like this. If that makes sense. Yes, it's a great moment, and she, again, doing it for her friend. Yes, I respect it and I love it. I would do the same thing. I'm speaking as a fan of the product, because the product's going to move on after the Rebel show. You still got to do TV. You still got to book the rest of the year. What's that going to look like for her? That's a serious question that I think the sickos really need to ask themselves. I really do. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for today's show. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed this little 40-minute stream here. I will be live tonight on the Sports Jedi Network to talk about All Elite Wrestling from tonight. Make sure you guys come check us out. Sports Jedi Media Network on YouTube as we're rebuilding our new YouTube channel. Follow me here, PGHChrisTV. Should be live or maybe with some videos here in the next few days. We will be doing a TNA show Friday afternoon on the Sports Jedi Network. Make sure you check that out. And I will be live or make a video this weekend right after the Jets and